Alright, let's get started. Welcome. I hope everyone's going well. Let's just adjust this camera just a little bit. Oh, my hair's really just not... Alright, and we're joined today with socks. So yeah, I hope everyone's going well. We are back. So yeah, let's jump straight into it. We are continuing on where we left off. I sadly haven't had any time to sort of do any more work and so forth like that. So yeah, let's go in here. Let's go git branch. Let's double check that I'm on the correct branch. I did do a git pull before and there were no changes and stuff like that. So yeah, I just didn't have time on the weekend to do anything, nor just haven't had time. I'm going to break that. So, your socks. We were up to, I minimize everything, open up this, open up the NearBeach, open up the, I forgot to put on my second screen. Right, bear with me, sorry. I knew I forgot one thing. All right, go to create, create dashboard, stream manager. All right, cool. Sorry about that. Yeah, I just forgot my second screen. I will one day get that monitor up here and then I'll have everything all encased and stuff like that, which will be awesome. So, going with this, we were doing the views, API. We got up to the object data, we've done group and users API, we're up to the link API view now. And what we're doing is we're simplifying the code and we're implementing the improvements. So I want to get all the object data done. Once that's done, that adds on an extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that means we've done about 13 of our 20 nodes. And then we can move into the objects and start shuffling through them, which hopefully will be a little bit quicker. So yeah, I think the coffee one will be very, very quick. We just need to document it. So yeah. So with the list link API, what we're doing is we're having a look at the object dictionary and all that kind of stuff. And we were sort of discussing the enums and whether or not this should be moved into an enum. I think it's this one, the relation dictionary. If we actually have a look at where we're using that relation dictionary. So we're using it down here. And we've got that, and yeah. We've got object relates. Which, oh, sorry. We get up here and we look at the object relation. I think we can put that as an enum and then follow that through. All right, so what I want to do is I want to open up the serializers. I want to open up the object data. I want to have to look at the link serializer. So going in here, oh, we're not using any of that. Yeah, we're cutting out things in here. That's what we're doing. So we've got object relation, serializer character field. We're going to change this to enum for this particular one. Now we are using an enum somewhere else. I keep forgetting how we set that up. But we're just going to have to figure it out today. So yeah. Oh, we've just hit our first ad break on Twitch. For those on YouTube, we run ads every half an hour to stop preloaded ads. That's where you join the channel on Twitch and you get ads straight away if they suck. absolutely suck. So we run the ads to stop that. You get to see me, you get to see Socks here. We tend to do this so no one misses out on any content, and sometimes I solve a Rubik's Cube. So yeah, hopefully everyone's going well tonight. So yeah, welcome. The ads won't be long, they're about 90 seconds. We've got 50 seconds left, so yeah. Alright. Okay. There we go. We're about 15 seconds left for the ads. Get to pat Socks a little bit more. So yeah, hopefully everyone's going well tonight. It is bloody cold here. All right, back. Welcome back, everyone. So yeah, we're going to change this into an enum. I forgot where we did the enums. I'm trying to remember where we did them. There we go. Enum field. Yeah, this is what we want. So I'm going to put this over here for reference. This is the enum, how we've set it up elsewhere. If we were to have a look at the link serializer, Socks doesn't want to be here anymore, so you have to look at my face. No, you can't just go into your bed and then jump out whenever I move the camera. So we've got the relate object dictionary. No, it's the relation dictionary. So that can easily be put into an enum. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to comment that out. I'm going to put that over here. We're going to just go class. We're going to go... I can't say relation. No, because you keep trying to rate people. What would be a good name for this? We could go relation enum. Ooh. Socks. And then that will be models dot. That's just going to be a character field, I do believe. Oh, it's going to be a part of the choices, sorry. Text choices. Easy done. So what we want is relates. Relate. Blocked by. Blocked. I don't know why that's coming up like that. Hang on, let's have a look. So we can do it like that. And Tashi, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. As we try and figure out how I did this before, it is the Django REST framework enum stuff. So, choice enum. Where did we do the choice enum? That's pulling that, yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't want to do that. Okay. You know what I've done. Easy done. We have a blocking equals block. We have sub object of, and that will be sub object. I've got to double check all of this. Parent object of sub-object, and then has duplicate equals duplicate, oops, and then duplicate object is going to be also duplicate. I've got to double check all of this. And Gagan, Deep Sing, how are you going? Welcome, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content, and I do apologize if I got your name wrong. I am terrible with names, yeah. All right, and then what we want to do, actually, I kind of want to do relates. Kind of want to do something like that. So we've got the label in there, blocked by. Under do blocking. And then that will be sub-object of. Oops. And that will be parent object of. Oops. That's meant to be a capital O. We have an underscore and a has a duplicate right there. And now we have duplicate object. And I think that's good. Ah, that's good to hear. Yeah, I'm whoa, jeez. Sorry, Socks has just decided to appear. Yeah, I'm terrible with names, so yeah. Okay, so we've got our enum there set up how we want it. I've got to double check the database, so I'm just opening up the database. This I'm just going to put over here. It's perfectly fine. And that little tiny sneeze was Socks sneezing into the little microphone then. Okay. Confirm. We don't need to save any of those changes. What we need is object assignment. And I just need to go all the way over to the right. So the parent link, that's perfectly fine. We've got task meta, object, sub-object, block. All right, cool. So it'll be those that are going into the database. From India, well, welcome, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. We also have a cat here called Socks. She likes disrupting things. All right, so, oops, talking about disrupting things, she just nearly jumped on my mouse. Now, what I want to do is I want to bring back this link API stuff. I want to find where we're using this relation dictionary. So we're using it here. We're only using it in one spot. Okay. And I do believe this will turn into submit object assignment dot link relationship, and it should just be object relation. All right. Now it's this one line up here that will break. So I'm just wondering. Give me a couple of seconds. Sorry, I'm getting a jumping Socks. Don't step on my mouse. Shut down that. All right, cool. Sorry about that. I just needed to shut down something. I think down here, we'll have to check this. Because under certain cases, so for example, if it's relates, blocking, or parent object, or something like that, has duplicate. So relates, blocking, blocked, parent object of, and so forth like that, we do something special. Now, in these sort of cases, I might need to capitalize all of these. We'll find out. We're going to add in a little breakpoint and try and get to here. Essentially, I've broken this particular functionality. We're figuring everything out. We are trying to simplify a lot of this. So, what I want to do is I want to go to the link serializer. This is going to be enum now. So we're going to do that. We're going to go object relation equals, and this will be enum field, and enum equals, and that's where we pull in what we just created, this relation enum. And we need to actually import both of those. So I'm just going to import that very, very quickly. We're just being a bit lazy. We're just using the system to help us do that. So that's all imported. This should be all fine now. We've actually shrunk down this whole thing because, yeah, we're doing something different with this. Now, this is part of the link. So if we get the link list, we have an error in the console, so I'm going to stop and rerun. Ooh. All right. Okay. It doesn't like that. Duplication of values found in enum relationship parent of object, a sub-object it has duplication. Oh, all right. We might not be able to do this then. Because yeah, it's right. We do have some duplication here. But I might have gotten these around the wrong way. Oh no, no. Because this could mean this. All right. We're just resetting it. I think in this sort of case, that's perfectly fine. What we're going to do is we're going to make notes. We're going to make sure everything just continues to work. We're just doing a stop and refresh. I think it'll break because I've done something. And Q, how are you going? How are you going, Taku? Yeah, I am. I've just started. So, oops, just bang the microphone. We are joined today with, oops, no, she doesn't want to cooperate at the moment. She's like, no, I don't want to say hi again. Socks is here. Dancing away. She's not happy when I do that sometimes. So, yeah. Yeah. She's being cute at the moment. She's running back and forth on my desk, so I don't know why. So, yeah. Anyway, we're going to test this out very, very quickly. We're going to hit send. So we've still got this stuff coming through, which is good. So this is for task 2. So if we actually go into localhost, task information number 2. I'm going to open up dark admin for everyone who doesn't like admin. There we go. And if we go into link object, we've got this here. So that's what the information has been sent back. And hey, Ashish, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. So, yeah. All right, so we want to do a post link. We know we've broken stuff. I'm going to delete all the objects and stuff like that, knowing that I've broken stuff. So I'm just going to hit send. Detail, invalid token. Yes, that is correct. We need to go back in here. Sorry about the light blast. I do apologize. I am going to the admin. The admin has the stuff. Cheers. Thank you very much, Ashish. So, yeah. We're getting there. We've got to improve the API. Hopefully the improvements will be done by the end of this month. And then it's a bunch of other stuff we've got to fix up. So, yeah. We're getting there. Slowly. Okay, so the first things first is object relation is needed. We also need a couple of other fields that are required in this sort of case. If I have a look at the get, we've got the object ID, the object title, the object status. Object will need the object type and the object ID, I do believe. Yeah. Because if we go back here, this endpoint, for example, these objects are one of those. Where destination, parameters, so we'll have object type, object ID, and object relation, which will be part of the parameters. I'm glad I wrote those down. So, going to the link serializer, going down to the get field. So the get fields with the request, with the post. There it is. So how we've described it is we need object type, object ID, and object relationship. Like so. Why do you always get fields? In this particular case, up here, what we've got is we've got read-only is true across all of them. However, that is not true in some of these cases. What I'll probably do is I'll actually change some of these off read-only because that, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, good point. I could do that. Object relation required. I'm going to say true. Object type required equals true. And object ID like so. All right. Perfect. Hello, Gallo. How are you? Yes, I am a giant nerd. So, yeah, welcome, welcome. Anyway, we're just going to hit send. Ooh, what? Hold on. Got key error when attempting object relation link serializer. The serializer field maybe. Diction. All right. Hold on. Object relation. Oh yeah, the music's from wait, I've got it. I'm pretty sure I got the command working. Yeah, the Heartbound soundtrack. So yeah. So, where's the object ID? So, this particular field is required no matter what. So, if I'm posting stuff to the API, this particular field is required. If I'm getting stuff from it, it's still required anyway. So, I might as well leave it as required. It's part of the OG soundtrack. So, yeah. And, Gekan, you're also learning the code. How should I start and which language is easier for beginners? Well, you can always start with a language which has no types, which is pretty easy to do, for example, like Python and stuff like that. But it also depends what you want to do. So, if you're like going into game development, I wouldn't recommend that. I would say, listen, learn .NET. You'll have to learn types and stuff like that, but that's perfectly fine. I mainly will tell people to learn .NET because that's what major sort of game engines use. If you're going into web development, you could easily learn PHP with a Laravel or Django with Python. It depends what you want to do. But at the end of the day, what you want to actually have is a job. So what you would go in here, backend, I'm assuming you want to do backend. If you want to do front-end, or if you're doing game development, the same sort of thing applies here. What you would do is you go in here and you actually do a little bit of research and see what languages people are using, people need, and so forth like that. That's what I would recommend. Well, how many files there? I just started learning React. How many files there? I don't know the context to that, sorry. You started learning React? Okay, cool. Yeah. So admin, you're doing React. All right, cool. I do a little bit of React, but yeah, that's okay. Go again. All right, in here I'm just going to do that for the moment because I want to get this working again. So we've got it working. Yeah, we don't need the object relation. So what we can do is this is where we use the get fields again. Is instead of having a post, we'll have a if self.context request.method equals a get. What we're doing is we're just pulling out those particular fields, and I think we just use a pop. And it's object relation. I think that's it. So to answer your question before GS, is these get fields sort of allow me to modify these particular values depending on the method that's been used. So in this sort of case, we've got a get method. In the get method, I don't need the object relations, so I'm just popping that out. There are Python files, what for? So all these particular files are, well, I'll close that. These are all the serializers for the API. So NearBeach has a lot of different objects. For example, it's got a Kanban board, Kanban cards, it's got projects, it's got tasks, and so forth like that. So I need a different serializer for all of them because they're all different. So yeah. All right, I'm just going to hit send. Now, something went wrong. All right, so got key error when attempting to get the value of object relation on serializer. The serializer field might be named incorrectly. All right, now we should be popping that particular field out. I'm just going to hit that. We're just going to hit send. We didn't hit that breakpoint, so something else has gone wrong. So we're looking at the API. We're scrolling somewhere to the list. This is the get list. We've got the create, we've got the destroy, we've got the list. So I'm just going to put a little breakpoint there. We hit the breakpoint, and what I'm doing is I'm just moving forward. So it's somewhere in here. Okay, that worked fine. How do I fix errors without breaking everything? Well, good question. It depends on what it really is. So a lot of the times, if I've got a particular function that everything goes into, and that particular function gets really, really messy because there's multiple different cases to sort of accept and stuff like that, I would break that up and make it more simpler. So in some cases, that might be creating multiple different functions that do essentially the same thing but have different inputs. Otherwise, usually I separate as much as possible, so that way when I fix something, it doesn't break anything else. I also sort of lean heavily back on my unit tests that I've got into this, so if I do break something, I can catch it right away. So, yeah. And Harsh, how are you? Hopefully you're going well too. And thank you, Huffman. So, yeah. Okay, so it does look like this is working, because judging by the link serializer, we've got the actually no, it's not working. We've got the data that's all not working. All right, so if I go into this, I'm going to say we're probably going to break. Okay, I've done something really weird here, haven't I? I think it's here. What am I making today? I am working on NearBeach, an open source project management system. So we're making improvements to the API. So we've got some feedback with the API. We're sort of implementing those improvements. And it looks like I've broken the link section. Worst case scenario, I can revert all my code back and move on to another node. So yeah. And hi, sorry, I'm terrible with new names. Prakash. Welcome. I do hope I pronounced your name correctly. I do apologize if I didn't. I am terrible with new names. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to hit play. So we've just hit here. We've got the data results. I'm just opening up this list. So we've just got a one-to-one list. We've got a link relationship is block. Okay. And if I go into list serializers, hold on 1 minute. Object relation is what I'm after. We don't have an object relation. How do I get to start learning this? If you mean programming or learning NearBeach. With programming, my recommendation is Free Code Camp and just building stuff. Yeah, that's it. Otherwise, if you're talking about NearBeach, we've got a GitHub. So yeah. Why am I getting an Indian audience? Well, I can answer that. Yeah. I live in Melbourne. And you guys aren't that far away. Time zone wise. I'm guessing it is probably midday. Oh, all right. 2:40 and stuff like that. So, yeah. So, yeah. Perfect time for watching streams and stuff. And that's okay. Half mid. All right. So, we probably have a disconnect between the fields that are here and what I'm expecting. So I'm going to put the link serializer over here. We've got the link relationship. Oh, and we've just hit ads on Twitch. So for those on YouTube, we run ads every half an hour on Twitch to stop ads actually happening when you join the Twitch channel. You guys don't get ads, don't worry about it. But we tend to pause the stream when that happens. When you get to see me either solve Rubik's Cube or pat socks. Or both sometimes, but she's in her bed, so yeah. Yeah, how's everyone going? Hopefully you're going well. I'm trying to remember how I want to actually tackle this problem. It has been a little while since I've looked at this code. So, yeah. And I know I've done, I think 11 out of 20 of the endpoints. So hopefully in the next couple of streams we just get them all done. I want to get them all done by the end of the month. So yeah. I've also solved with that one basic trick. Oh, fair enough. Yep. Yeah. So I've been cubing since I was in university. I'm not the best. There's a lot of room for improvement. For example, I get one side, one line, but in reality, I should be aiming for one side, two lines. And also, I need to learn a couple more algorithms for the final layer. So yeah, there's a lot of room for improvement for me. I have competed. So I competed in the 2019 Worlds, and welcome back everyone. Back in 2019. All right. And hi, I'm gonna buy a new PC next week. I have no idea about coding. Can you explain how I can start? Well, we recommend free code camp. The good thing is you don't need the biggest, strongest computer. You can get away with, depending on what you're wanting to code. I should actually emphasize that. So I'm a web developer. I don't need the latest, greatest machines. In fact, the machine that I have right now, it's not that old, but it will last me about 8 years, and I'll be fine with that. My recommendation is to build small little projects, something quick and easy. And then after you've built like a dozen or so, go back to your first one and have a look at it and be like, can I build this better? And then build it better. So, yeah. All right, so we've got a bunch of lists and stuff like that. We don't actually have the object relation in there. Okay. And nor am I sending the, oh, that's probably why. Yeah, I'm not. Okay. So if I just, let's say I commented out that one particular field, I'm going to double check this. I'm just going to hit play. That should actually kill that off. So we've hit this, I'm happy with this. I'm just gonna hit play again. So we've got the data. In this sort of case, what's happening is we're not hitting this pop whatsoever. So I'm going to comment out that particular code, and I'm going to do probably something a little bit naughty. I am going to comment in this. Now, we're fine with all of those. What I wanna do is I wanna create a field called object relation equals, and then it's essentially just this. Required equals true. We do need to make it some choices in there and so forth like that. But we don't have that like that. I might play around with this, but I think that's the workaround. So if I hit send, we've still got this one working. I'm going to hit save to save that. If we hit send here, yeah, we've got all 3 bits of data that I currently require. So that is good. Why is my phone going off? And Broken Wing Music, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome back. All right, we're gonna hit the object ID. So in this sort of case, I'm gonna say, this is a project 2, and we wanna connect, let's say task 1 to this. And let's say it is blocked by. So I need to go into here. Let's go blocked by. You going good? Oh, that's good to hear. Broken Wing Music. So, yeah. I'm going to hit that. And that was created. So if we go to project 2 now. So we just go to project information number 2. We go down. We should see task 1 in there. And this is, oh, it's a sub-object of. Now that's incorrect, so I've broken some code somewhere. That should actually state is blocked by, or is blocking, I should say, because it's the opposite. What should I learn, Python or Java? Depends what you wanted to do. So if you want, for example, if you did data science and stuff like that, I would heavily lean on Python. If you're doing web sort of stuff, I would probably say maybe Java, but Python you can definitely do because you got your Djangos and your Flasks and stuff like that. If you're doing games, I would say .NET. Even web, I would recommend .NET and PHP. So yeah, it depends what you want to do. If you want to, yeah. All right, so we're gonna have to fix that one. That's fine. I can actually delete that. That's perfectly fine. I actually did want to test that out, so I just want to double check that that wasn't in there as something, and when I've added it in, it's all right. So it's created it. And then we go back into here. No. All right, so looks like that isn't working how I want it to, but that's not a problem. What I want this, yeah. All right, so the enums won't work because one of the things turns into a duplicate. Okay, let's go Python enum. Yeah, all right. Python enum with duplicates. It doesn't go the other way. All right, yeah. Update using enum. There are a couple of choices. Okay. So what I've got at the moment is I've got a little tiny problem. In the front end, I want a simple little drop down being like, all right, cool. If we create this new link, we've got a little drop down and we're like, all right, cool. Will this be related to, is blocked by, is currently blocking, sub object of, parent object of, has duplicate object of, is duplicate object of. And you'll notice that excluding relates to, a lot of them are pairs. So instead of storing the information like in pairs in the database and so forth like that, what I've done is I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to consider those pairs just one particular value, and I'm going to state whether or not it's a reverse of it. So if I go is blocked by and I pick project 1, and we save this, we now know that project 2 is blocked by project 1. However, the opposite happens when we go into project 1, and we go into project 1 and it's currently blocking. So we've got a reverse case of that. So yeah, in the database, I figured that out. I'm now trying to figure that out with the API. And what I want to do is really, I want to have an enum or something like that where I can be like, all right, these are the only values that have been going to be passed through. If there are any values that are out of this, we need to inform the user. Now the problem is with an enum, as we discovered before, because, for example, the sub-object of and parent object of really just means sub-object, yeah, we're going to have issues. So, yeah. Now, going with the link serializer, what I could potentially do over here is I can import that into here. So I can go from NearBeach dot, now this will be part of the views dot, actually, we want to go the other way. We want this to be part of the serializer. So I'm going to cut this out. So 39 to that, that's just that. We're just going to paste this in. We need an extra line at the bottom. Then in here, we need to, from the serializers, object data, link serializer, and I've absolutely forgotten a relation dictionary. So that will be fine. I'm from Melbourne. So yeah, if you can't tell by the Australian accent. All right. So that should be fine. If we scroll down here and we go choice field, required choices equals related dictionary. Now, hopefully that works. And hello, video influencer. Welcome, I do hope you are enjoying my content. So, you're from India? Oh, fair enough. We've got a lot of Indians here tonight, so welcome. Welcome. So, yeah. I hope you guys are really enjoying my content. So, yeah. I do know it's around about 2:30 there. Actually, just wait. I'm in India. I forgot when I looked this up. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, you're half an hour from us. All right, yeah, nearly 3 p.m. there. So, yeah. All right, going into here, we're just going to hit send. So that works. If I untick this one and I send object, all right, cool. And if, let's say I do something and do a spelling mistake. Cool. That's perfect. That's what I want. All right, so I'm actually happy with that sort of choice. Why YouTube now recommends low view subscriber live streams. I don't know. I've noticed that my the amount of views on YouTube at the moment is quite high considering what I'm used to. Usually I'm used to about 1 to 4. So yeah, I don't know. I do know if you like and subscribe, essentially that tells the YouTube algorithm, hey, show this person to more people. I do know that because I do see the likes go up and every now and then the views also shot up. So yeah. What am I doing here? I'm working on NearBeach, an open source project management system. We're currently working on improving the API. So we've implemented an API. We got some feedback and we're like, all right, cool, we can do this better. I've given myself to the end of this month to actually roll out all the improvements. And then I will be rolling down this particular branch. So yeah. I don't know what you said there. Message retracted. So yeah. All right, so we got the block by. I'm happy with that as a workaround. That's perfectly fine. We're going to jump into here now. I'm going to move that code over there. We don't need to look at it. I'm going to do that so we can see most of this. We're going to scroll down a little bit. We don't need the get list. We're fine with that. What we want to do is the create. So we're happy with the serializer, getting the data out and so forth like that. This is just flat packing everything. So we're getting the destination location from the quags. That will be, for example, the project 2, because in this you'll be on the project 2. Can I speak it? Probably not. I do apologize. I am terrible with names. Boldenaya. I'm guessing. And then Neve? Am I anywhere close? And I do apologize if I get that wrong. I am terrible with names. Alright, sorry, I've got to move my little iPad around because Socks likes to press the buttons on it and she's tried raiding someone before. And for those that wondering, Socks is my cat. Notice how she's interested in touching the iPad? And also putting her head right in the way of everything. Alright, so we're happy with all the flat packing. If object type is object.dict. Alright, I'm going to put my little breakpoint there. We are going to find out what's happening here. So we've hit this. So the object dictionary. So the object type. Oh, alright. I think we can potentially limit this to, but it's perfectly fine having this here. So yeah, nice try. Oh, thank you. Yeah. How long have you been into software dev? Good question. So I had a little bit of a thing. So when I was 10 years old, oh, that's terrible. That's a terrible 0. Sorry, I'm actually left-handed and I'm using my right hand to do this. When I was 10 years old, I had a calculator that can program. and that's what got me into it. However, throughout high school, I really didn't do much programming or anything like that. At university, I got a degree in maths, where we learnt how to program MATLAB and C. From there, I got a job at the university building essentially some database solutions and other sort of MISC sort of stuff using C++ with the Qt framework. That was a long time ago. And then I became a data scientist. I started learning Python, ended up in IT, didn't like IT, upskilled myself into web development, and I've been in web development for a number of years now. So yeah, I'm a lot older than I look. All right, so we're here. We know this is going to pass because the object type is going to be task, and task is in object dictionary. So in here, we've got object type in list for object type in list of, so we're getting, we're looking at all of those. Now, what have I done here? I've now just overwritten object type. That's silly of me. I might not have needed it anymore. So now it's a change task. You're quitting web development, you're going full-time data science. Oh, fair enough. It is very interesting, data science and stuff like that. So yeah, highly recommend it, especially if you're into that sort of thing where you're like, I have a question. What if this and this? Or is there a correlation between this and this? Or a lot of the questions that we asked at the university were along the lines of how many low socioeconomic students are actually taking up particular sort of extracurricular activities or something like that. So yeah, highly recommend it. I did enjoy it. It has completely and utterly different problems to solve, and you can still, a lot of your programming knowledge can be sort of migrated across, especially when you're using R or pandas. So yeah. All right, Socks is doing her little Olympic stretches, and now I'm trying to remember what I did here. Clearly I've got a spelling mistake. Loop through the results and add them in. I think because before what we're doing is yeah, I know what we're doing. All right. So before I had essentially the ability for someone to add in a bunch of different types of objects and so forth like that all at once, but now we're actually limiting that down. So instead of doing it like this, I also just realized that this is meant to be a multiple choice field. That's my bad. Easy done, easy fix. So we've got the object. Actually, no, that's a choice field. That's not multiple. The IDs, which will be multiple. So this then becomes a multiple integer field. Oh. Okay. Well, ultimately, all the software, apps, websites work on data. Data is there. Like, yeah, definitely. I was a data scientist before the term was coined. Actually, I don't know when the term was coined. Before the term I heard it. Yeah, long time ago. Well over 10 years. And Marmik, how are you going? Socks just ran away. she's like done a cartwheel off. I think she saw something and just ran away. So yeah. All right, now. It's no, it won't be many here. I just need to double check one thing. So, Django REST framework serializer integer field many. So we've got the integer fields. Max value none, min value none. All right, cool. We can definitely pass through a min value. That tool did you use as a data science? So, I actually learnt Python back in like 2014, and I was going to start using that in pandas. I was also looking at R. So otherwise, most of the sort of tools I used there was a lot of Excel and a lot of SQL, and yeah. From there, I use those particular tools to sort of solve my problems. However, that being said, a lot of what I did back then, I can easily do in pandas nowadays and make it very fast and automated. Trying to get into web development. I know the basic stuff, React, Node, making APIs, database and stuff, but I get overwhelmed when I try bigger projects, especially with the logic. Any tips? Start with smaller projects. I made the big mistake of building a project management system. It's just too huge. Start with small projects and just slowly build your way up. Otherwise, compartmentalize everything. So when you build something, you're like, all right, cool. There's a small little part of it, and then you can build another little section that's sort of connected but separated and stuff like that. Which is how I sort of rebuilt NearBeach. So back in August 2020, I deleted 95% of the code, and I should have deleted 100%. And I just rebuilt NearBeach. So yeah. And hello, Reddy. How are you going? Okay, I don't know if I could max digits. No, all right, no, that's fine. I don't know if I could have actually multiple. Which is going to be annoying. Which is why we had it the other way before, but we're simplifying stuff. So yeah. That's okay. Hopefully that does help. Especially doing the small little components and stuff like that. So yeah. So if you're wondering how I went request for change. I rebuilt the request for change. I then built the projects. Then I think I did the tasks. And then requirements and requirement items and so forth like that, and built it up from there. And then the Kanban board, and yeah, it took me ages. I think a year to rebuild it all. And then it took me a year to debug it all and fix it all. So yeah. Great times. I don't think I have the ability to add many for this particular thing, which is annoying. We do want it as an integer field. Oops. We do have choice fields, but once again, we don't want to use them because we don't know what the object is going to be. I think YouTube recommended Indian people only. True. Yeah. I don't know why. So, for example. Hang on, let me bring up the map so I can visualize this. So, I can understand why Indonesia would recommend YouTube Indonesia would only recommend YouTube Indonesian because, you know, they've got their own language. The Philippines, India. I mean, if you're speaking English, I wouldn't mind watching you stream. I mean, I do that on Twitch. I watch quite a lot of people who speak English that are in those particular languages. Are in those particular areas of the world. Hell, there's someone who's in Singapore who I watch. Who's a frequent, they drop by frequently. So yeah, even Malaysia, yeah. I understand, like, if you don't know the language, you don't want to get it recommended it, which is fair. And I should be flagging my stuff as English, so yeah. Now that I think about it, I don't know if I actually do that. I hope I do. Ooh, and... Sorry, Socks, you're in the way. But is the bomb. Great name. Thank you very much for the follow. I am immature. I will laugh at that. So, we can only do one at a time. That's fine. It just means I've got to change the front end to replicate that. That's you. It's a great name. It is a great name. I am very immature at times. Farts are funny. So we've got object ID, serializer integer field, all of this required equals true. All right, so we've got down here required equals true, relation dictionary. All right, so I'm happy with that. The types themselves, we can limit the types down to what we need in here, and then we don't need to worry about it up here, but that's perfectly fine like that. I mean, oh, sorry, I'm just having a good think. Okay. I just want to try one thing. This is more out of curiosity. So we've got the, hang on, was it object dictionary? Sorry, my memory is absolutely shot today. I am exhausted like usual. So yeah, we're gonna right hand click that out of here. We're going to element OPQR element. All right, cool. It goes up here. Object dictionary. So we've got this in here. We are going to remove two of those lines. We're going to go in here. We're going to go object dictionary. So everything works perfectly fine. We're going to go down here into object type. We're going to make this a choice field, and then we're going to put choices equals object dictionary dot keys. And what ID am I using? I'm using PyCharm. So yeah, full disclosure, open source JetBrains license. Because NearBeach is open source, I actually get it for free. So I can only use it for open source projects and stuff like that. So yeah, that's just full disclosure. Yeah, I enjoy it. And I know there's an incoming ad break soon, so I want to test that out. So if I go into here and I just go send, or if I hit, sorry, I need to re-debug. All right, I'm going to hit send. All right, we've got an error. Oh yeah, cannot pickle dictionary keys objects. All right, cool. Yeah, nah, that didn't work. I wonder if I could do that. I wonder if that's a sneaky way around that. Probably not. Error connecting. Yeah, alright. Choice. Yep. Alright. So I can't do that. That's perfectly fine. I am going to keep the... I'm going to move this back. That was just me experimenting. Get rid of that. All right, cool. What's the most annoying thing that pickles you? I don't know. Probably myself. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe Socks. Between the hours of 9 AM and 10 AM before the coffee actually hits me, she loves to meow and run around in the study and meow and meow and meow. Love her to bits, but at that time I'm trying to concentrate for the day and I'm struggling. Alright, we're doing a couple of send requests. That's not working. Oh, we've just hit an ad break on Twitch. So for those on YouTube, we run ads every half an hour on Twitch because that's to stop the pre-rolled ads where you join a channel and you just get ads straight away. They suck. Anyway, we do this so no one misses out on any content. Don't worry, you guys don't get any ads. That's perfectly fine. You just get to see me. We get to chat. I do a Rubik's Cube, so you get to see sometimes socks. If you're very, very lucky, she might fall off the desk, and it's absolutely hilarious. It has happened before. So, yeah. She just leaned back too far on her bed and took the whole thing with her. So, yeah, hopefully everyone's going well. We've almost finished this cube. Yeah, I've got a lot to learn to optimize this, so a lot of you who are familiar with cubes have probably been like, oh, that's a weird way he's doing that. And welcome! You're a beginner in Python. Can you please suggest me? Alright, what are you wanting to do in Python though? Because that changes what I'm going to recommend. If you're doing web development, my recommendation is Django or Flask, depending on yeah, either one is really, really good. If you're doing data science and stuff like that, I would say pandas. So yeah, and then from there, build stuff. Just build stuff. That's how you get good. And don't be afraid to fail. Hey, I fail a lot of times. Don't worry about that. I do silly stuff all the time. Oh, and welcome back everyone. Sorry, I was not paying attention to the ads. So, we've got this working. We're going to hit send again. We've got this. I'm happy with that. It's this object in object dictionary and stuff like that we won't need anymore. A lot of this we won't need, and this gets simplified. All right, where's the debug? I'm just going to hit play. We're just playing it through. And we're just going to have to read this code very, very quickly. Data science. Yeah, just play around with pandas and stuff like that. If you need open source data sets, you'll be able to find sort of, if you go to your government and stuff like that, you might find some data sources and stuff like that that you can download, put into pandas and play around with it and so forth like that. See what you can do with them. That's my recommendation. Just use it, play with it, and so forth like that. And it's great for a job interview too, because they might ask you a question being like, all right, something. You'll be like, hey, I download the data for, let's say, tides and stuff like that. And I was playing around with it with pandas. I did this, I did that. You get to talk about it in interviews. And yeah. Is it worth 1 minute of viewers' time the amount of money you earn through ads? Honestly, I only get cents per stream, so no. I don't get that much money with the ads. We mainly do it once again just to stop those pre-rolled ads, because people try and join a channel, they get pre-rolled ads and they're like, well, I'm out of here, and they join another channel. So yeah, that's the only reason why we do it. Playing with data is pretty fun. Yeah, I do remember. You also have some open APIs in places. Which, this is the API. I haven't played around with this in 6 years. But yeah, back when I used to be able to tell when a car park was kind of free within a certain time limit. I think it was like a minute to 5 minutes delay or something like that, which was kind of interesting. And you used to be able to pull that data and be like, all right, cool. So you also have some open APIs out there too. Just remember, don't abuse them. Just putting that out there. Okay, so Originally, we looped through everything. We're not going to do that now because we've got an object type. For row in get list, object type. So essentially, we're getting a single object type. That's what we're doing now. Then we submit it. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember all of this code. It has been a while. So what I want to do is now we have the type. We have the object ID. We have everything we need. So let's go single object will equal the object dictionary still with the object type. So the type will be, you know, task, project, and so forth like that. Then we want to get from that. Oh, all right. That will be the serializer.data. Actually, validated data. Object ID. So I'm trying to remember the fields that I named. All right. So we should have a single object for that. Now I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to put that down here. And then we should be able to nick this. Like that. That should work perfectly fine. In fact, that should also work perfectly fine. Object assignment, In fact, hang on. That will be destination. That will actually be F. Destination underscore ID will equal the location ID. So we've got to use location, do it that way. You got to go. Anyway, thank you very much for coming around. I do hope to see you next time. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe because it does actually help the channel. It's quite awesome. So yeah. So that should negate that step there. And then we just need to do the linking. Which if I grab that... Actually, that should actually belong there. So that's 3, 6, I'm just going to do 8. I'm going to paste that in. So if it relates, we go the parent destination because that. Else, if that, I've got to find out why. Relates blocking parent of has duplicate. There's a reason why it's in that structure, and I figured it out last stream. And then we need this information. If the object destination is the same as the object type, add the meta value. All right, cool. Essentially, we need all of this. Okay, easy done. Just paste that in. We're going to comment out all of this code. We don't need it at the moment. And then I'm going to put a little breakpoint there. We are going to test this out. So we're going to go over here. We're going to have the link. What we want to do is we want to add the task 1 to the project link 2. Actually, I'm going to say task 2. And we're going to say it's blocked. So if I go send, we're going to hit this. This should have all worked. We should have a object assignment and so forth like that. If we open this up, I mean, I'm not really reading into it very well. I'm assuming that's working perfectly fine. And then get list destination, location ID. If I hit play, ooh, we've got the list. Got the, all right, cool. So we've got the object 2, object assignment ID. All right, this worked perfectly. Okay, so now I just need to get rid of this code. Pretty much this is going to be perfectly fine. I don't think we can... Now, we can move some of this to the link serializer. However, I think that is a bit of a no. Because the link serializer, if we have a look at the link serializer, it's just a normal serializer. It isn't a model serializer or anything like that. I think what we've done is we've just simplified the code and we're going to call it a day. And that is working. What is your dream project and when you're working on it? So, NearBeach is part of a dream project, but if I quit my job, if I quit my job and could work on anything, I would still do NearBeach. However, I would also like to make a Doom clone. Doom/Duke Nukem clone. Mainly because I think that would be awesome to do. Not make it in the software rendering sort of state, actually sort of still do the 2.5D, however use like Vulkan or OpenGL to do all the rendering and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm not as limited as they were. Yeah. So that's what I would do. Still programming. So yeah, there's a lot of math in-game programming and stuff like that, and I do kind of miss the math. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna say the create is done. We do need to actually do examples up here. So we're gonna go example 1, add task 2 as a block, as blocking project 1. Or we probably need the URL, quags URL, no. Please note the URL will be, I'm going to do /. We're actually going to copy this. Then in here, what we want to have is pretty much those 3 items. So object ID going to be 2. Object type is going to be task, and object relation is going to be block by. And what we can do is we can copy those examples, move down to 5, that one, paste them in, get rid of that. We can change this around. I want to go 243, I want to copy that. I want to go down to 252, I'm going to paste that in. I'm going to add as relating to project 2. Like so, easy done. All right. Cool. So create's done. And I'm just going to minimize this. Sorry, I'm zooming all the way up. So get list we don't need to do anything with. The create we've just done. The destroy we need to do, and the list we need to do. They're going to be very, very quick. So the destroy, we're not making any code changes whatsoever. We're actually quite happy with that. That's actually neat, tidy, done. That's the minimum we need to do. Now I am going to open up something for a reference over there. Don't mind me. I'm going to open up, I'm part of the API view, so I'm going to open up this one. I'm going to minimize this. So the destroy is going to be a bit harder to do. So with the delete, we've got to get the ID for this. And we need both the destination and location ID too. So that's why I'm looking at this particular one, because I can scroll down to the destroy. And I'm just going to copy this. And what we're going to do is we're just going to paste it in like this and be like, all right, cool. We realize that I've got to do that. Awesome. I'm just going to move that over to there. Perfectly fine. So we're going to have to reword this. So this will be remove a single link from this object. The IDs for the link can be obtained by using the get functionality. So the parameters, destination, all right, cool. Yep, that's going to be different because the links will not involve all of them. They won't involve that. It's just those four. Pretty sure. Famous last words. What line am I on? 344. Object dictionary. Change tasks. Projects. Task. Crime. All right. Change tasks are needed. All right. Easy done. The location ID is all right. The ID for the specific result should be object assignment ID. All right. Cool. Perfect. So example one, remove remove link to from the current project, and that will be object ID, and that will be object ID. That's pretty much it. What is this project about? So this is an open source project management system called NearBeach. We're currently building upon the API. You can essentially I'll show you. So NearBeach, you can gather both organization and customer details, very, very basic sort of level. You can create a Kanban board. You can gather user requirements, break them down into requirement items. Think of that as user stories. From there, you can create projects and tasks. And when you're ready to deploy, you've got requests for change. So yeah, we're slowly building it up. All right, API object data permission, min permission level equals. All right, so that should be all fine. I am double checking that is going to work over here. So we need the post level. I'm going to say with project 2, we're deleting number 56. So if I go over here and hit refresh, we'll have 2 in here. So I'm deleting the one that's 56. So if I go into here, project 2, deleting 56, and I hit send. Invalid token, not a problem. I've got a valid invalid token there. I'm just going to copy this valid token, and I am going to paste over it, and we're going to hit save, and I am no content, and it sends back what is available now, which is perfect. So when I hit refresh, boom, done, gone. All right, so the list itself is going to be pretty easy. That is description, API, return fields. Oh, do I need all of that information? I'm going to say yes. All right, so description, this API endpoint provides, let's actually rewrite this. This API endpoint provides a list of all links for the specific object. Yeah, we don't need any of that. Return fields we're just going to go over here and just go, all right, cool, these are the return fields. We're just going to copy that. Okay, little trivia. How do you shuffle an array without breaking it into chunks? I honestly don't know. I've never had to do that myself. Now, I do know in .NET there's functionality that allows you to do that, because I've had to shuffle a list of iPublished contents before, just because the client wanted suburbs in a shuffled way. But otherwise, how I would do that, let's say in C or something like that, I don't know. But that's an interesting question. Oops. I should have done a 2 before that. I should have gone 2 in that. All right. In this sort of case, actually, undo. Because we actually want to do bang, da, da, and then like that. And then I'm just going to clean all of these up. So link relationship, the links relationship broken down into, they'll be either blocked. Oh, this is where I need the link serializer. Relate, blocked. I want to get this in a certain order. Relate, block, sub-object, duplicate. Okay, object assignment, ID. The ID of the link. Object ID. The ID of the linked object. Object title. The title of the linked object. I am going to go back in here and I'm going to neaten these up. Oops. The status of the linked. Can't type. I can't type. All right. The object type, and that's where we'll go change task. That will be change task, project, requirement item, and task. The parent link of the linked object. All right. If the relationship is meant to be reversed, i.e. blocked becomes is blocking. Okay. All right, so I can get rid of all of that. That's easy done. The endpoint is primarily used for front end. You just don't need to know that. So parameters, destination. actually, that's right. That should be like that. So change I think those. Change task is in there. Easy done. So location ID is like, yeah, all right, cool. So this one's done. So I'm happy with that. So what I want to do is I definitely want to get status, git add, git commit, implementation of the link API improvements. I can't even see what I'm typing, so I've definitely made a spelling mistake somewhere in there. Sorry, the iPad's in the way. All right, now we're going to go back into here. We are happy with this. I'm just going to close all tabs. Close up. Yeah, just close all tabs. Let's get rid of all of that. Let's minimize everything. Let's go through this now. So we have in here NearBeach, views, API. We've done all the object available data. That's fine. The object data we're getting through. So we're just on the link. Now we've got to do the notes, object, and tag, which should be a lot easier, trust me, to do. And then hopefully that I won't get it through. I won't get it all done tonight because there's only 2 hours left, unless I'm absolutely just smash out. Like, that would be amazing. Then the next thing to do would be the change task, customer, and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, got to fix up the change task. I've done projects. I've done Kanban board, Kanban card. That's why I got that list up there. Haven't done tasks, haven't done sprint. Yeah, cool. All right, Note API. To double check permissions on Note API, do we use special permissions? Ooh. Why you never mess up git commits, keeping the strictly formal style? I don't really have a very formal style with my git commit messages. So yeah, there's times that I do have some sort of style. But a lot of times I don't. It's so as you see, merge request, release, fix merge conflicts. Those are pretty stock standard sort of stuff. And then I've got fixed unit tests for Kanban board. I know what's happening in there. We've got other people who are committing stuff, add event hooks. We have hang on, I'm trying to find a bug one. We've got bug fix and the bug, like essentially a link sort of copy of what we got and stuff like that. Apart from that, you'll see in here I don't follow any sort of strict git commit. So yeah. Alright, to do I'm leaving in there for the moment because I need to actually think about that properly. No, we might need to have custom permissions for the organizations versus other projects, which is true. So what's actually happened is with the notes, you can add notes to organization. They need a different permission to adding a note to a another type of object. So for example, a task or a project. So yeah, we've still got to figure that one out. I've got to double check all the permissions and stuff like that, which yeah. Now we've got this on there, that's perfectly fine. We've got the serializer class. Yep, that's perfectly fine. We have the note serializers, which I'm going to open up very, very quickly. Object, note serializer. So in here, we've got it based on a serializer. That being said, I feel like this will be a model one. So we should be basing this off the model. Yeah. Anyway, we've just reached another ad break on Twitch. Welcome back again. You got me, and you got Socks just over here. She's like fast asleep at the moment. Oh wait, her ears just perked up. She wants treats. Oh, the instant I said treats. Look at that. Oh, she knew that. She knows that word. She's... Hopefully everyone's going well. We are quickly going to solve this cube as fast as I can, which ain't that fast, but that's fine. Oops. And then we do something like that, and then we do something like that, and then we do something like that, and then we go, oh, whoops. And then, like this. All right, done. All right, we're about 30 seconds off for the ad break. So yeah, do apologize. For those on YouTube, yeah, we run ads every half an hour on Twitch. Don't worry, you don't get any ads. We tend to do this so no one misses out on any content. We run the ads so that no one gets the pre-rolled ads, which just absolutely suck on Twitch. They're some of the most horrible list sort of things. I don't know why they did it. So yeah. Anyway, welcome back everyone. Okay, so this in reality should be a model serializer. Easy done. So down here, what we want to do, class meta, we want to have the model equal to something now that we're at 45 from NearBeach.models import. Now this will be the note, object note. Easy done. And it'll be the object note that we're dealing with. Now, because we've got this, we can also do the fields, and we're being inclusive with the fields. This will also make it so I can alphabetical order this whilst, you know, making the notes make more sense. So, for those that don't know, I struggle at finding things in text. Hence, I alphabeticalize everything, so I can quickly glaze through this and find it faster. So one thing we can do is we can go down here, we can edit this out. I'm going to split this off to the side, split right. So with the fields, what we're going to put in here is we're going to put in object note ID first, object note. Then we've got first name, last name, username. And then profile picture. Easy done. Then date modified and can edit as values. And I think that's a good way to sort of put this in. If we go over to Postman, here we go. I'm just going to close these. Actually, I need the I need this. If we open up the notes, we're going to get the notes first. We need to change the header, so I'm just going to paste that in. I'm going to put that in these ones too. Oh, it looks like I've already done it. All right, no problem. So, as you see, we've got the data. It's now note ID, first name, last name. That makes a lot more sense, reading it like that. So, I'm happy with that. Now, with the put, I'm going to close that side. I'm pretty sure I'm happy with the serializer. We've got all read-only fields, and then we've got that. All right. Required false for that. Yeah, required false with the delete. Yep, that makes sense. I'm happy with that. That's been working. This one's going to be a lot simpler to do. So we've got the Note API view. I'm going to open up the group. I'm just going to open up the customer list one on the right, because we're just going to copy and paste. Yeah, that's a simple view set. Oh yeah, we've got the responses. Yeah, I should start putting some of them in. No, they should be going to this by default, so I don't need that. Anyway, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go over here with the note API. We don't need the get list. We just need to go down here. We need to paste this in and put a simple one of those. We're just going to then do something like this. So, gathers a list of notes assigned to the current object. Like so. And then the parameters is the destination. So in here, we've actually got quite a lot more than what's down here. So we'll need, the destination will be Kanban card. Won't be the Kanban board. I'm going from all the objects. We'll have task, we'll have project, we'll have requirement item, organization, and that's it. So yeah, if I've made a mistake, I'll come back and clean it up. So yeah. All right, so that's all done. We've got the API object data permission. We've got that easy done. We've got the create. Okay, cool. Actually, no, this is the list one. Whoops. Made a mistake. All right, not a problem. We're gonna scroll down to the list. There we go. So list is perfectly fine. That's as condensed as we can get it. The update, the update. This is one of those things where I can optimize this. Yeah, I can definitely optimize this. Okay, not a problem. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted with the cube again. Yeah, so because we got the note serializer as a model serializer now, what we can actually do is we can go down here, we can do a def. I think it's created, and then we just return self.super something. I'm gonna have to look this up. Give me a couple of seconds. Sorry, I am going to have a look at the object data. I think we're going to do the customer list API serializer. That's the model serializer. Oh, we didn't do it for that one. We did it for the group and user one, didn't I? No. I did it for the Kanban board serializer. Yeah, def create validated data, going down all of here, and then return Kanban board. Okay. Never rely on self. Fair enough. So yeah. All right. So that, I'm going to delete that for a moment. I'm going to leave it like that. Oh, wrong thing. I'm going to leave it like that. The idea being is we're going to pull some of the code out from here and put it in there. We've also got the update. There's the fields. There's the create. We don't have the update in here. What was it? It was the Kanban card. Hold on, I didn't press F1, thank you very much. Yeah, def and update. Okay. And then I'm gonna have a quick look in here. So for the update, we're going through, we're flat packing stuff, we get the object. which we should have an, yeah, we'll pass through an instance of the object. We should be doing a 404 proper 404 on this, so I'll need to change that. I'll need to update that. Then we're just updating the validated data. All right, that's pretty easy to do. Yeah, all right, and then we get the serialized list, so we get it all the way back. We just get the list and we send it back. So in a sense, we're changing some of this, and I don't think we need the update in here. Okay, so I want to have a look at the Kanban card API in here. I'm going to close that because I can. So if I scroll down to the update section, we've got the update. We're doing a get 404. We're double checking some stuff before we go into here, and then we just do the update, and we do the update card serialize.data. I think that's all I need. Famous last words. I probably need a lot more than that. All right, note serializer. Okay, scrolling. No, not the serializer. Sorry, the API. So first things first, we're gonna. I don't know if I need the flat pack. Oh, I need the flat pack for down there. Possibly don't. Ah, whoops. Sorry, my bad. What I'm doing down now is Quags destination, and I am just gonna do it like this. Quags location ID. Ah, can't type. I can't type. Not locations. ID. All right, so I've just neatened that up. We don't need to worry about that in a second. I'm going to be changing this. So these next 3 lines are also going to go out the door. So the object to update, that will be update object note equals. Now this is the get object for 404 method. Now I need to import that into here. I'm going to cheat. I am realizing I need to actually do that. That's the REST framework generics. So we're on line 210. We're going to go up here. So I'm just going to go from REST frameworks.generics.import get. There we go. Oops. There we go. So we're going to do this, and then we'll have the query set equals to the object note dot objects dot filter. And what we're doing is we're filtering for is deleted equals false, and the Kanban. Oh, we don't need the Kanban board ID. So we've got that. We are checking to make sure that the user can edit this up here. So that should be fine. So we do that, and then we go PK equals PK. And Ivanhoe, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. How have you been? Hopefully you've been well. So yeah. All right. So we've got the update object note. We've got all of that. We're all quite happy with that. All right. I do believe we don't need any of that anymore. And then what we need is the serializer save sort of stuff. So if I scroll down here, we'll go update object note. Actually, we probably don't need to do that. We just need to call it. So serializer.update. And then we have the update object note. And we've got the serializer.data. I think that's it. Because we don't need any of this, and then we get the list back. And that's pretty much it. Now we're double checking to make sure that exists. We no longer need to flat pack. So we're simplifying the code. All right, so if I do an update, so we've got to put, we've got that. I'm going to hit send. We've got the detailed method put not allowed. Oh, I need the get notes for the project 2. So project 2, object note 3. All right, cool. Project 2, object note 3. And I go send. Object note field is required. And I'm going to put in hello world. Well enough. I love for the temperature being lower. Currently 24 degrees Celsius in my office, although it feels warm. It's cold here. It is really cold here. Melbourne weather. It is 8 degrees Celsius at the moment. Now it's a little bit warmer in here because I got my computer on, and I do have I did put on the heater today because I just couldn't work. It's just too cold. I was like, no, I'm freezing at the moment. This is unworkable. So yeah. Send some gold, please. Oh, please take some. We'll have a trading scheme going, all right? I'll send you some of the warmth. You send me some of the cold. I'll be happy. So, yeah. It is cold. And for those that don't understand Celsius, that's 47 Fahrenheit. Okay, cool. So that one's done. We haven't added in the this stuff. So I'm just gonna, you know, copy. Gonna sleazily put it in like this. So the description update. This updates a single note under an object. Parameters. Object note. The new note. Oh, by the way, I didn't see if that worked. Yeah, that worked. Hello world. Done. So, yeah. Oh, Ivanhoe, 25.88. Nice. So, yeah, congrats hitting it. Let's see. Drop. I'm doing shocked max. Okay, so going over here, we've got all of that object add note. I really don't like that. Destination. Yeah, I'll key those in. Like that. Easy done. And damn you, Nightbot. You cheating son of a. Alright, I'm just gonna stand. Sorry, the joys of the raising desk. Sometimes it just gets stuck on something. And I am going to say that's okay. I'm going to need to get someone to actually eventually go through all this documentation and essentially highlight what needs improvements and so forth like that. Highlight what is missing in places but included elsewhere and all that kind of stuff. I suck at it. So yeah. Now the lists, we've done the lists, we've done the update. Cool. Done the update. The destroy. All right. Deletes a single note. You can get the note ID from the list. All right, cool. We've got the get list. Sorry, I've just bumped up and I just absolutely lost where I was. Oh, the thing is, I'm now looking at all of this and being like, oh god, I've got so much to do. With the create. I'm past halfway. All right, I'm past halfway. I've just got to look at that and just be like, I can do this. It's going to be a bit of work, but I can do this. All right, so we've got this description. This will be create a note against the current object. Parameters. So definitely none of this. I don't know what the parameters are. So I'm going to go and post. So I'm going to save that one. I'm going to hit post and I'm going to hit send. It's not sending because I need to include that. All right, easy done. We're going to include that very, very quickly. So yeah. And Cholo, how are you going? How have you been? Hopefully you've been well. I have been busy like there's no tomorrow. All right, we're going to do all that. We've done all that. We broke something. Huh. All right, hang on. That's meant to be like that. And then, sorry, this is, you're doing well? Oh, that's good to see. Busy is good, yes. I'm busy in life also at the moment. So yeah, trying to get this out the door. Well, all these fixes out the door and wrap up the 031 branch, as well as at work getting stuff done. So yeah. All right. Is that all I need? Just the note, object note. All right, cool. So let's go down. Let's nick something else from down here. It's pretty much that. Oops. All right, let's right hand click and go paste. Sweet, done. All right, cool. And we're just going to bump that onto the next line. And we're happy. So yeah, this means I've just done another one. So I'm going to open up this. I'm going to say, all right, no API done. So we're going to go git status. Actually, I'm going to press Control L. All right, git add, git commit. Implementation of the Note API fixes, git push. And I've got ads in 5 minutes. All right, so going over here, we've got the object sprint API. I might, this one's actually fine. This is a very small one. We've got the get object sprints. We've got the create. I think in this sort of case, we're gonna stick with just editing the notes for this particular one, because I don't see a requirement of shrinking any of these. Now we've got the object sprint thing in here, the serializer. We'll have a look at this and we'll determine whether or not we want to shrink this. But this might be just a, this should be fine. almost. Because yeah, with we've just got a list and a create. And that's it. All right, let's have a look at the data. Let's go object sprint get list. Let's hit send. Ah, invalid token, not a problem. We just go back to our notes and we're like, yo, thank you. We're going to save this. We're going to hit send. We've just got all of that data. Sprint ID, sprint name, total story points, completed story points, sprint status. That's in perfect order at the moment. And this one is invalid token. This one. Yeah, all right. This is going to be pretty simple. Ben's last words. Now, before I do anything, I'm going to place down my mat of fun. I bought a cheap mat, which, you know, if anyone recognizes it, it is just a simple mat which you buy so toddlers can, you know, play on it without actually hurting themselves on hard wooden floorboards. I was like, you know what, I need one of those because my carpet is wearing out where I sit. Best decision ever. In fact, what have I got under there? Oh, it's just that. All right, cool. That's going to annoy me. Okay, I'm going to put that there. Sweet. So, sprints. Let's get the sprints done. And then we've got the tag API. The tag API should be... We've got the create, we've got the destroy, and we've got the list. Okay, so that one will take a little bit more. I'm going to do this one properly. So... yeah, let's do this one properly. Let's close this. Note serializer close. So object sprint that one. Let's close that one. Let's open up the object sprint serializer. So we've got this all out of alphabetical order. That's perfectly fine. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go model field serializer. Go down here. We are just going to go class meta. And we're going to go model equals, realize we haven't got the model in here whatsoever. From NearBeach.models, we're going to import the object sprint. Oh, we don't have, it'll be just the sprint object. And then we're going to go sprint, and then the fields. And this is where I just go over here and be like, I'm going to nick these fields and go. Actually, it'll be easier just to... easy! All right. And then I can put these in alphabetical order. So those are, all right, cool. Status, element OP, all right. Sprint status. Oh. Well, these are in a weird way. All right, I've got an extra space somewhere and it's just caused problems. All right, so CI goes status start date. Actually, that will be like that. That goes up there. Start date. Status, story points, yep, that's fine. End date. That will actually go all the way up there. So that's all in alphabetical order now. So I'm happy. That's not happy. Oh, we've just reached another ad break. I can't believe that we've hit another ad break. It's just, I can't believe it's 8:45 at the moment. So, yeah. How's everyone going? For those on YouTube who run ads every half an hour on Twitch so people don't get pre-rolled ads, don't worry, you won't get ads. We do this so no one misses out on any content and you guys get to see and talk to me. So, yeah. Welcome, welcome. I hope everyone's going well. So, yeah. Alright. Okay. Almost finished this. And there we go. Easy done. And we've got about 25 seconds left worth of ads. So yeah, in that time we can have a look at Socks. She wants those treats. She's like looking at everyone being like, where are the treats? But yeah, otherwise she's been pretty good. She's actually been good tonight. She hasn't been roaming back and forth and jumping on the keyboard or anything like that, which is nice. You know, I like when she behaves. Yeah. Anyway, welcome back everyone. So, we've got all this done now. We've got a problem in here. Alright. Yeah, what's happened is something has caused a mismatch of 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, cool. There was a mismatch of all the spaces and stuff like that, which is really annoying. Anyway, we've got this, and now we go into object sprints and so forth like that. So, in here, what we've got is get that. Now, that is... That's fine. We've got the create. The create won't be that much data. So if I just copy this and I paste it in and then I add in this and then I go like this to here and then I do that. Yep, there we go. All right, so the create itself, that's the get. Sorry, here's the create. I just need those 3 bits of data: sprint end date, sprint start date, and sprint name. So, and this is assigned to the project and the ID and stuff like that. So, parameters. I'm just going to do like that. I'm going to have a look at the. No, I don't want to look at the serializer. I want to have a look at the groups and users, destinations, location ID. I think this is better. I'm going to put that over there because I reckon that carries what we need. All right, cool. Anyway, going back down with this, what we're going to have is we're going to have the sprint end date. End date of the sprint. Sprint start date. Start date of the sprint. And then sprint name. Sprint name. Easy done. So that's with the create. Now we're pulling out all of this. We're then shoving it all into here. It's just this destination location ID that we've got to worry about. So, how are we going to do this properly? Now another thing I've got to get object sprint, destination, location, ID. We are using destination and location quite a bit. I don't think we'll use these three. I definitely don't want to do it like that. So what I want to have, and all right, I think I've got this. So we want serializer dot save, and then in the save, what we want to do is have destination underscore ID equals location ID. Oh, that doesn't work. How have we done it before? All right. So, how am I going to pass that information down? So I'm just having a quick think about how I can do this. Because what actually happens is if we go on here and we go into the save and then we go into this, oh, sorry, wrong one. And we go into this implementation, piss. We go into the customer submit. So we go up here, we go into the customer, this would be part of the customer API type of stuff. So customer serializer, we go down here, we go into, it'll be part of the update, won't it? No, it won't be. Actually, no, there's no connection whatsoever. All right, I don't do anything for the customer. But we do need the destination location going down because we do need it to connect. So a good way to do that would be to we won't be able to do it like that. We can pass destination location down. Like so. With the serializer, I can capture that. This will be object sprint serializer. So down here, what we'll have is we'll have a def create self-invalidated data. And then what I need to do is destination equals validated data dot pop destination. So that pulls out destination, location ID. Location ID from here. And then we'll have validated data. And then we'll have in here an F string with the destination underscore ID equals location ID. And then we do something else in here, and I've got to look that up very, very quickly. So this is why we're going to the Kanban board, not the board serializer, but the card serializer. So we got that, and then we got that, and then that's the object serializer. Kanban card serializers is on the right. So that's the update. We've got the create. So we do that. Kanban card equals so we do the creation here. So instead of doing this sprint submit and stuff like that, it'll be sprint equals sprint dot objects dot create and validated data like so, and then we just return sprint. Now we can do that all in one line, but I'll leave it like that for the moment. Then in here, once we get the data, we just get the data. All right, cool. Yeah, we don't do anything with that data. We just go, all right, cool, create it, done. Yeah, that should be it now. Why am I sending back all the... Oh, because it's part of the crate. All right, cool. Send back all the sprint list. Done. In reality, when we're creating, we want to actually send back just that one. It might be an idea to not send back all the list. We'll have to actually check the UI and UX for this. So yeah. All right, that is done. We just need to get rid of some of those. That's all fine. I'm happy with that. Now we just need to do the list. This will be very, very simple to do. So I'm just going to scroll down. We're just going to copy this. We're just going to paste it in like this. I'm going to do this. Description, list all the sprints currently connected to the object. Easy done. Done. All right, so this one's done. Oh, I haven't tested. There we go. Not null. Sprint change user ID. We need to send through the change user ID. That's perfectly fine. Didn't test. This is why we test. So we go into up here, where we up here. So I need to start doing something like this. I think that. I think that. Actually, no. Do it simpler. Perfect. All right, cool. Improvements for the object sprint API. All right, cool. That is done. Then we've just got the tag serializer, which once again is going to be very, very simple. I am just going to be back. I won't be long. In the meantime, you guys get to watch Socks on stream. Make sure she doesn't do anything naughty. And I will be right back. I do apologize. All right, I am back. Sorry about that, everyone. We'll keep socks on there. So, yeah. All right. So, the tag serializer. I'm just going to close that. I'm going to close that. We can definitely make a model. Easy done. And then at the end, what we can do, class meta. That will be model equals tag, and then the fields will equal, and we'll figure out the fields in a second. Tag assignment ID. Tag ID actually goes before there. We've got the tag list, tag name, tag color goes here. Tag text color. All right, cool. So we've got everything in there. We just need to do this now. So if I go down into tag, I will get the tag. That doesn't work because we need that special number. So I'm just going to go into here. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to paste it in, and I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to hit but. And that isn't it. Tag assignment. Oh yeah, it's because I haven't done any of this. So I want the tag assignment ID at the start. Followed by the tag ID, followed by the tag name, followed by, and this is where the other fields come into play. So I've got color, tag list, tag name color. I think that's it. Tag text color. All right, I've got that wrong. All right, socks, sweetie, where are you going? She's like nowhere. All right, not sure I want to go over here. Aw, sweetie. Okay, now you want to come back because I moved the camera and you're like, oh, treats. It's like Pavlov's dog or something like that with cats. And the fact that she gets rewarded, not just, you know, mentally destroyed. All right, cool. Oh, socks. Seriously, stay still. So we've got the lists. We've got everything we need for the tags for that particular thing. So I'm pretty happy with that. We'll post the tag. Now that will be with this value in here. We'll post a tag. I think that value is the same, so that's great. Post tag. All right, cool. That's it. Nah. I'm sick of you walking to and from. So tag list. All right, cool. And delete. Yeah, that's pretty easy. We're gonna get this one done, and then I can pull that in. I can then release this tonight. Get more feedback on it. We'll also need to. So we'll also need to do the Swagger stuff. What I want to do is get the Swagger documentation out there and get reviews on it and so forth like that. I want to automate that process too. I need to do that after hours because it requires a lot of API key, a lot of credentials, not API keys, credentials. So yeah. All right. Okay, I am just doing this very, very quickly. Okay, socks, can you stop doing that, please? So I'm happy with the tag serializer. Let's have a look at the API. So with the API, we've got the get tag list. It's pretty simple. We're gonna have a look at the group and user one and pretty much copy that. Actually, no, the get tag list we don't need to worry about. We do need to make it static because we're not using any of the self in it. Easy done. That's perfectly fine. It's this one down here with the create. We're going to use this. So I'm going to copy this. We're just going to go like this. We're going to paste it in like that. We're just going to go like that and go zooming all the way up here. And we're going to do that. Easy done. Cool. So, what is this? This endpoint allows you to add a tag to the specific object. Easy done. We don't need any of that information. Destination, Kanban cards, yes. Projects, yes. Yep. A location ID, yep. ID, this should always be set to 0. Nope. No, this... No, we don't need it. No. Unique object. All right, cool. And then we'll have the tag list. A list of IDs connected to the tags. You can fetch all tag data by hitting the, and this is where I just open this up, hitting the available data tag list. Available data tag list. All right, easy done. So notes, make sure the user, yep, we don't need any of those notes in there whatsoever. We really just need one example in here. All right, example 1, add tag ID of 1 to current project. URL is, and we're just gonna copy this, paste it in. We are going to do something like this, and we're just going to go and go 1 tag ID. Easy done. In here, we're happy with this. That's flat packing stuff. That's getting the list out. In this sort of case, this is just looping through and submit tag, assignment, object, enum, destination, ID, change user. This is fine. We could potentially move this into the serializer. I'm going to say no, it's quite small. And Theodore, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. I am as good as I can be, all things considered. So yeah. All right. All right, I'm happy with that. The destroy should be simple. I'm just going to copy this. This is... All right. Destroy a tag connected against the current object, and then this will be the tag ID. This can be found out using the list functionality. Can you solve the 4x4? Yes, I can. So I'm not as fast as the 3x3, but yeah, I can solve it. It takes me a couple of minutes, I would say. It takes me 2 ad breaks. Let's just say that. All right, so I'm going to get rid of the example. because at the moment I don't think that's needed. If someone comes out and says, listen, you need a couple of examples here and there, I'm going to listen to them and put in a couple of examples. Now with the destroy, that's perfectly fine with all of that code. The list functionality is going to be very, very quick and simple. We are just going to go into here. We're just going to go like this. We're going to paste this in. We're just going to go all the way up here. We're going to do that. And then we are going to say, this won't have much in, hang on. We can use those. This will be lists all tags currently under the object. And then we just need to get rid of this. And that's it. And that's pretty simple. So what I want to do is I want to go git status, git add, git commit. So apply API changes to the tag API view. And before git push. And before I do anything else, I'm going to run some tests. So we're going to go source VM bin activate. So we're in my Python virtual environment. So Python manage test. We've got 85 tests at the moment. Oh. Where do I have that breakpoint? I don't know why that's there. All right. Let's do that. Incoming outbreak. All right, cool. Ooh. All right, we've just failed all of those. Pagination, make yield. All right, so 404. Yeah, the thing is, I might have ruined these tests. Because if I go git status, git add, git commit, remove breakpoint from tests, git push. If I do that, and then I go git checkout develop, and then do Python 3 manage test here. Oh, we have a breakpoint in here too. Oh God. Oh no. All right. Let's get rid of this. I don't know why I had that in there. We are going to silently close that tab. May it rest in peace. Activate. All right, cool. Python 3 manage test. Easy done. Let's go through here. We've got a bunch of Fs. Oh, all right. So I've been failing tests for a while now. Okay. These are part of all the API tests. Yep. All right, let's have a look at the Circle CI. So I can't release this tonight until I fix this up. Circle CI, let's go into the account. Let's log in. Log in, log in. right, cool. Yeah, our main's working perfectly fine. But I've broken things. Okay, good to know. So main's working perfectly fine. I'm gonna reset hard because there's nothing we need to do. I'm going to get checkout main. I'm going to get pull, make sure I've got the latest data, and I'm going to double check that this is working on here. So I'm going to go Python 3 manage test. Looks like we're all working. Now, I don't know if it's broken because it's the API tests or anything like that. We'll figure this out as I go along. We also don't have that breakpoint, so I'm going to go git checkout develop, git merge in main, and git push. Because every now and then I need to merge stuff in, and then Python 3 manage test. Yeah, we've got the breakpoint here. All right, cool. Means I've broken something. So going back with this code, we've got the test API admin and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to test this out. So if response.statuscode doesn't equal data.statuscode, I think I've just done something really silly in here. This is run test array. Yep, that's, yeah, all right, cool. So I'm going to exit. New tab. Screw it. We're going to close that. Close terminal. We're going to git branch. Git checkout feature. This was API improvements. So if we go back into here, was it API improvements? One way I can check. All right, go back into here. Object data API. I'm going to have to clean up my branches on my local. That's perfectly fine. So I'm going to do a git pull. So this will now give us errors. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to test for that. So we're going to go Python 3 manage test. We're going to go through, we need to go source first. Source, VM, bin, activate. Hit that. We're just going to go through it all. We failed a lot of things then. That's perfectly fine. It's just going to go through all the rest of them. And we're going to figure out why we failed them. Because it could be a problem with the test or it could be a problem with the API. If it's a problem with the API, I want to fix it before I do this release. Because I don't want to release a broken API. Because I know someone's using it. And I've just lost all the data because I pressed Ctrl-L. Okay, doing that again. All right, so failed test API customer data. I'm going to close this window and this one. All right, cool. We're also, to focus, we're closing other tab. We're just closing everything. Close all tabs. All right, cool. And we're just finding this. This is the test that we're after. We double click on it. So we're just testing this one. Now, the next step of this is we've got the NearBeach test API, test user permissions, we've got the URL as API version 0 customer 1. API version 0 customer 1. So it's this that is broken. All right. Status code 301 method deleted. Oh, all right. So it's this one line down here. I'm going to highlight it so people can see it. So we don't have a method deleted for the customers one. Okay. I am going to have to reopen up Postman. That was silly of me to close it. We're just going to put it next door. We're going to close all these tabs. We are going to close that one. And we're going to open up customer. And we've got team leader. And we've got a delete customer in here. So this should delete customer 1 and so forth like that. Customer deleted. So not quite true. However, if I look back here, API version 0, yeah. 404 missing. That's not true. Now, that being said, we could have deleted this customer prior. So I'm going to have to look at all of this. We've got that. We've actually updated the customer. So, yeah. We've also got a post. So I could potentially put this as a number 2. So we delete customer 2. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to rerun these tests. And I'm hoping for less failures now. Because we should have added in a customer 2, and I'm only deleting customer 2, and it looks like API customer 1, 301 method delete. Hang on a minute. That one doesn't have a /. I am just going to go back over here. We are going to get a list of all customers. We don't have any customers. We're going to create a customer very, very quickly. This is customer 2. So we're going to jump into here. Customer 2, 500 server error. URL via delete, but the URL doesn't end in a /. All right, cool, append /. All right, so I'm going to get rid of these 301s. So if we have a look at http.cat 301, this is moved permanently. Yeah. We're going to tell the user that it ends in a /. Yeah, those, we're not going to move forward with those. So, going to retest again. We're going to get quite a lot less issues nowadays. So as you see, we've got still some fails, but not as many. All right, we've got failures of 6. Now, this is where we go test API customer data. I'm just gonna, once again, do all of that. We're gonna up here, we're up here. We've got a 404 instead of a 204, and that's to customer API 204 move method deleted. Okay. And welcome, Martin. So I am building an open source project management system called NearBeach. Currently, we're working on the API. We've found out that some of our unit tests are failing. Some good reason is because of these 301s, which I'm just going to get rid of because we don't need a test for them. They're just there for no apparent reason. So yeah, and we're currently trying to work out why this is giving us a 404, because it should have created the, so that's a get. If I do a simple, let's change that back to 1. Might be the case that I need to actually edit the fixtures and add that extra user in. Sorry, customer in. It's still doing a 204 for no apparent reason. Alright, that is really annoying. That is correct. We've actually manually tested that. Failed customer data, run test. Have I deleted it elsewhere? This should be using a new database though. Because it's using the fixtures. It shouldn't just fail. Because these passed. And this was working the other day. Yeah, I wonder what I did. Sometimes when this happens, you sort of look at what you did. And I haven't changed any of the tests. So we've got the serialized data, we've got the views API and the schema, available data, object data. None of this actually has touched the tests. And none of that has touched the customers. So I don't know why this is suddenly broken here. Put that in. All right, cool. Oh, that's main. Hang on, I need to go back further. So develop customer API. Customer serializer. Yeah, that's fine. Customer API view. That should definitely be working. Okay. I'm just going to try one random thing. So we've got the customer API view. We're going to scroll all the way up to the top. I'm going to change this to delete. I don't think it'll do anything. Honestly, I think it will do nothing. We're still getting fails. We know the delete is working. Shouldn't be sending back a 404. Should be sending back a 402, no content. But that customer does exist. Is it not loading up the fixture correctly? Hang on, don't say the fixture's broken. All right, one way to double check that would removing the database, Python 3, manage, migrate. Cool, we migrated all the stuff. Python 3, manage, load data. We need NearBeach, fixtures, NearBeach basic. So this is the data we should be loading in. If we stop this, reload the the debugging. We go into localhost, we'll need to log in. I am just going to go over here. I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna go dark admin. We're going to go find objects, list customers. We've got Socks Fluffy Butt. There she is. There's customer 1. So when we have a look at Python 3 manage tests and we run through the tests, why are we saying we don't get customer 1? We should be using this fixture. We should have customer 1. We should have created a new customer, in which case will be customer 2, which we can visit. Yeah, I don't know why these are... So the puts failed. Customer data 1, 404. None of that makes sense. And I shouldn't be deleting any customer data in here. So what I'm going to do, go to the top, go delete. Sorry, wrong one. So let's check that. You can solve a 1x1 Rubik's Cube with your eyes closed. How are you, that onion? Hopefully you're going well. All right, so that one's working. That one should be under the customer sort of stuff. If I just do that, I just want to check one thing. I don't know if hiding that will... No, we've still got problems. Yeah, I can't complain whatsoever. So yeah, having a good day. Just having a weird issue with these tests. So we do have a customer with an ID of 1, and it's saying we don't. And now I'm just double checking to make sure I haven't. This is all the Kanban board stuff. That's fine. That's all fine. Organization, that's fine. The organization stuff is fine. Yeah. It just can't find the customer. This is weird. I'm gonna have to actually test this out properly. This is not what I want to do. But we're just going to comment everything out for the moment. Now, it could be something that I'm structured these tests a little wrong and I need to... That might be it. I know what it is. I know what it is. All right. If we have a look at customer, we've got organization, ID, and then the customer. So yes, I've structured it wrong. So this will now be organization 1, customer. All right. So I am, before I do anything, git status, git diff. Git status, git checkout, NearBeach tests. So I can't see that. Git tests. All right, git status, git diff. Yeah, git reset hard. All right, cool. I'm gonna reset everything hard. There we go. We're back to this now. Now I know what the problem is. It's organization 1 and then customers. So organization 1 and then customer. Cool. Organization 1 and then customer. We had restructured the URL and that was what was causing the issue. Easy done. All right, now with this particular one, what we want to do is Control V. We go down here and we go, ooh, and then we type in organization 1 and then customer, and we've just done all of those. Now, if we do the tests, so Python 3 manage test, we should have a lot less failures now. We have 1 failure. And we're going to find that failure and we're going to fix it. All right. we've got a 400 instead of a 200, and that is for test API data. So we want to go into here, test, hang on, I didn't copy that right. There we go. Test available data. So we've got available data customer list. Now in this sort of case, we've got a 400 available data customer list. So if we go over here, we go available data, team leader, customer list. It's available data customer list. All right, cool. Body, destination, location ID. So destination, project, location ID. This is getting a failed response. If we hit this, notepad. Ooh. That's what it should be. So destination, location ID, available data, customer list. Customer list. We are getting that correct. But I'm just going to paste this in just in case. We've got the destination, location ID. Oh, it might not be that one though. All right, have a look. API, available data, customer list. We've got project. Hold on. We're testing everything in here. All right, that's the problem. Data project, status code 200. That should be the first one. Okay, customer list, customer list. All of those are custom lists. All right. I don't know why that's getting a 400. Right, I'm just going to good old. We're going to comment out the All right, I've just undid quite a lot of my work. Shoot. All right. So I just git reset everything I've just done. Push to prod. Yep. All right. Let's just run the test very, very quickly. I'm just going to hit cancel after the first couple of fails. Done like that. We know that it's going to be this one. We know what the problem is. We're just going to jump straight into here. And I've just got to type in organization 1 into there. In fact, what I'm going to do is I am going to be very lazy and I'm just going to find and replace this. This is going to be perfectly fine. Famous last words. Replace this with organization 1. And we're going to replace all. All right, sweet. So I'm going to quickly test that, make sure everything's fixed. These things happen. Yeah, I should have read the thing properly, and it didn't work. Damn it. So API, organization 1, customer 1. All right, cool. We've got these cases. No problem. There we go. And we should have spelt organization right. If we spelt it wrong, I'm a terrible speller. So we should be down to 1 fail. Oh, we got 2 fails. All right, cool. Not a problem. Just have a quick look at everything. So organization, customer. I'm assuming these are all fine. Organization. Here we go. Here's the one. There we go. So we've got that one down. I'm going to ignore. No, I'm going to grab that one. Actually, I'm just going to reset the whole thing. Available data. That's. Sorry, got to get through this. Okay. Oh, I could just do that. Sorry, I keep forgetting I can actually do that. Now we're going to get this. We're going to do this. Available data. What I'm going to do, I'm going to comment that out, and I'm going to go Python 3 manage test instead of up and then get reset hard. So yeah. So we know it's that one that is having problems. That's fine. So we're going to undo that. Now we know these other ones aren't having an issue whatsoever. So I'm going to say, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go into here and I'm just going to paste it in like this. And then at the end, I'm going to do that. That is the same as that. We shouldn't be getting a 400. Oh, I can hit that Control C. So that is to deal with the customer list. Easy done with the destination project location ID and the status code equals 200 and get. So we've got customer lists here. It's definitely this top one. And I don't know why. It's going to paste that in. I know it has to have the / at the end. If I have a look at this, it's the destination location ID. Let's go project and one. I'm just going to go location 2. We're going to test that. No. Okay. And why not? Now this is where I could do the little trick and add in a debug tool and find out exactly why, approximately. I don't think I can get the exact answer. Oh, I've just noticed chat has stopped. Oh, sorry, web developer 21. Sorry, Twitch chat just broke. Can you teach me how to get a job as a fresher in today? All right, so I'm assuming you've got your languages and stuff like that. My recommendation is start little tiny projects and so forth like that. They don't need to be big or anything like that. It's just to prove that you know what you know. And then after a little while, try and improve the projects. That way, when you're going into a job interview, you have something to talk about. And you can prove that you know the language. Yeah. Also, always be willing to learn, even if it's a different language and stuff like that. So yeah. Sorry, the Twitch chat every now and then just freezes up and I didn't see your chat messages or anything like that. So yeah. And that onion Control Z, I wish Git had that sometimes. So yeah. Alright, assertion error 400 equals 200. I don't know why this is breaking today. I'm just going to double check. I'm just going to copy that. We're just going to go over here. We're just going to paste it in and we're going to like that. All right. The destination project. Your destination project location ID 1. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I'm doing a get. There's a 200. So I don't know why that's working here. All of these other ones are fine. We've got a 405 with that one. Oh, that's a post. Okay. Oh, the Twitch chat is... Sorry, I didn't realize there was an ad break on. For those on YouTube, we run ad breaks on Twitch every half an hour. And this is me going into a rant about the Twitch ads. The chat, can they fix it? It's just, it pauses constantly, and I don't know when people are chatting to me. It's getting really annoying. So, yeah. Considering I missed out how many messages then? I'm sorry if I did miss your message. So, yeah, yeah. You just are. So, yeah, I also stream on Twitch too. We did have quite a number of people here before, I think because a bunch of people just jumped on and hit the like button, and that seems to sort of spread me around a little bit more, but as people were leaving, it dropped. So, yeah. But yeah, welcome, Eden. I hope you're going well. Excuse my rant on Twitch, because it is sometimes very broken. So, and it's getting to that point where it's really annoying. Anyway, welcome back, everyone. Good point. I just don't see the overlay. I do have a video feedback, but yeah, for some strange reason, what I have is I've got your chat messages over here, and this will freeze up all the time. And it never used to do that. It used to always work. I am going to be changing how my layout works soon. I am going to be putting on a second monitor above and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, until then, I'm reliant on Firefox updating chat. All right, so I don't know why this one test is broken. Honestly, I don't know. This one's getting a 301. This is getting a 400, but why is it a 400? Yeah, I built NearBeach. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's cool, at least. So, yeah. Still a lot of work to go. So, yeah, I'm hoping... We're focusing on the API at the moment, getting that sort of sorted. We'll then be wrapping down the 031 branch, and then hopefully by September, fingers crossed as everything goes well, we'll actually start working on the 032 branch, which will have a lot of database improvements. So I constantly tell people I should have deleted the database design a long time ago. Should have done it. So I'll be fixing up quite a lot of the errors I've made. So yeah, doing that, getting types in the system, getting more and more tests if my tests work and tell me why they're not working, and stuff like that. So yeah. All right. So I don't know why this isn't working. I'm going to put in a to-do. Check why this test is not working in the test stream. Now, could be because I've deleted this. Project. That's it. Guarantee it. I deleted the project. All right, not a problem. Watch this. Test API project. Let's scroll down to the delete section. I actually can't see. So, I'm going to undo that one. And we're going to go over here. We are also going to scroll up to the to-do, which I just realized I didn't actually put this in a proper location. So we're going to do that. And we're going to test. No, it's an if. Damn it. All right, I'm gonna test available data. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna check why this is not working on the test in the test stream. It works when manually tested. All right, cool. As for the other thing I just turned off, let's find the test API project data. Let's go down here. Let's go scrolling down here. I'm going to undo that one test. I do feel like I should leave it commented out and stuff like that. Yeah, actually, I'm going to delete that one test because the idea is for the tests that were in the fixtures, I don't want to test deleting them. I actually want to create something and then delete that one thing I've created. That way, if done the test relies on that particular base thing, it'll all work perfectly fine. Anyway, let's get all of this testing done. So fingers crossed this works. If it does work, we're doing a release tonight, and I don't think we've got any front end changes unless we've got to do an audit. We need to update some libraries and stuff like that. So anyway, this is done. Git status, git add, git commit, fix to tests. Easy done. So we've got a to-do in there. I will go through the to-dos and fix them up. So what I want to do is I want to move this down here so I can actually read. I just knocked over it. Okay, cool. I want to go git status, git flow, feature, finish, squash. So I'm just squashing everything into here. It's just simpler to do it that way. And then I'm just going to go git push. And then what I'm going to do, npm audit. npm audit fix. npm run prod, because we're rebuilding the prods. And I'm just going to bring up the NearBeach .read the docs. And we're just going to go into procedures, deployment of NearBeach. We've done audit run. We need to do end-to-end. We've got that running. So end-to-end sometimes fails, sometimes passes, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. All right, we have the NearBeach login problem, but that's only affecting the mobile Chrome. We rerun this and it works perfectly fine. I'm not worried about this at all. We'll actually have a look at what failed in the report and make our judgment from there. All right, almost there, almost there. Come on, show me potato salad. All right. Let's go to the report. The only ones that have failed are just those ones. That's fine. If we rerun this, it usually just works perfectly fine. Never seen git flow command. Is that an alias? No. It is something I've implemented. Actually, that's for Atlassian. Sorry, that's for Bitbucket. GitHub, git flow. There we go. Sorry, there's a couple of documentations. Yeah, I just needed something that would work with features and stuff like that. So I ended up using git flow. I did need to actually install an extra library for it to work, but once that was installed, it works flawlessly. And you need to init the repository. So yeah. All right. So once again, it just worked. So what I want to do is a git status, git add, git commit, update package lock. Git push. Now, notice how there were no source changes or anything like that. That just means that even though we did an audit fix, that made no difference to the source code. So we don't need to worry about the screenshots or anything like that because this is going to be, the front end is going to be the same as the last release and so forth like that. What we need to do is we need to go into github.com, NearBeach, and we need to just compare and pull.